Let's ask Jibril Karim, who is an energy research analyst at EcoBank, Nigeria, from Victoria Island, is joining us this morning for this to put some insight into this from the oil industry. Who spent that much money? Jibril, good morning, to bring in petrol when you're not even sure of how much you consume.
Well, I think in terms of who spent that money, who spent that kind of money, the answer to that is quite straightforward. If you are a nation that produces crude oil and you don't refine as much, and you consume that much, it is evident that you will be spending that much on petroleum product import. But in terms of the enormity of it, or the magnitude of the amount being spent on petroleum product, there has been some significant discrepancy over the years regarding PA consumption in Nigeria. Because if we look from the data from the period we used to operate under the PPPRA template, where PPPRA allocates gives import allocation to various companies in the industry, what that data was suggesting then was that the average consumption of PMS in Nigeria was within the range of 20 to 25 million liters per day. But since that has changed and NNPC has taken over the import of petroleum products, and then NBS have been periodically releasing data about PMS consumption in Nigeria, the last we checked, we've seen a significant jump in terms of aggregate PMS consumption across the country. In 2016, towards the end by September 2016, we're already seeing around 50 million liters consumption on a daily basis. And if you look at from 4 years ago to this level, we've seen an increase of as much as 100% in consumption. Now, as there has been a similar increase in activities, maybe in terms of growth, in terms of consumption growth in Nigeria, middle class, or in terms of industry consumption, or in terms of more activities that could result in the consumption of PMS, relatively over the same period, that has not been 100%, which then brings the important factor of how much of Nigerian petroleum product is making it to our neighboring countries. And I think that is where the bone of contention is that the leakage on our borders and relatively cheap price of petroleum products in Nigeria makes it makes it relatively easier for exporters, for smugglers to continue to take cheap products in Nigeria and export it abroad.
Yes, that's a very issue. Now we have these figures that become a little bit untenable. This morning, of course, is in one of the national dailies, one of Nigeria's top legal luminaries, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Falana, says the figures between the NNPC and the Ministry of Petroleum Resources are untenable, whether it is 50 million and 60 million. But if we piggyback a little bit within the next 2 minutes, very quickly, Jubril, let's enjoy your benefits of being in the industry more than I do. Where do we come from as far as these figures are concerned? 3, 4, 5 years ago, how did we suddenly arrive at 50 to 60 million?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that Nigeria population is growing at an average of about 5 to 6% by a year. So definitely, in terms of real consumption of petroleum products, we are bound to see increase on a yearly basis. That is one factor. And if you look at where the Nigerian economy was 2 years ago relative to this current period, we've also seen some recovery, and that means higher consumption as well. But the most important factor between that period and now has been the smuggling of petroleum products, of regulated petroleum products from Nigeria to neighboring countries. And the reason being that if you look at the current price of PMS in Nigeria at 145 naira, if you move across the border, the neighboring countries, both Cameroon, Niger Republic, or even Benin Republic, all across, there is none of those countries that you take Nigerian petroleum product at 145 naira per liter to, that you are not making close to 100%. So the margin is quite attractive to smuggler, and which simply means if unlike before, where the margin is about 40 to 30, 40, 50%, at 100%, it's bound to happen that will attract more smuggling activities and volume of import volume of smuggling to those countries will increase. And if we actually, when we look at data from those countries and look at their own independent imports, it is evident that we've seen some decline in the independent imports from the neighboring into the neighboring countries, which then buttress the point that a lot of products is moving from Nigeria to those countries.
I got it. I got it. They're feeding fat on us. They just plug into Nigeria's pipeline. They reduce their own imports. They spend less of their own dollars. We spent almost $6 billion within the first 2 months of this year.
That's the price. That's the price you pay. That's the price you pay if you continue to subsidize products and you have porous borders. Because if you subsidize products, you want the benefits to accrue to the citizens of the country, not the neighboring countries.
Jibril, that's very depressing news. Let's leave it at that very depressing note. Thank you very much. It's good. Do have a great day with you folks are doing with the FX across the Anglophone West Africa. That's a great news, guys, providing the new platform from EcoBank Research today on how to track the entire currencies market in English-speaking West Africa. We hope to see more of you.